Good evening, and welcome to the first episode of DobbsQuest. Joining me tonight, GameCube, the Lurking Turtle, and Daysnick, here for an exciting adventure in the Ironlands. So, for those of you that are new to the hobby of tabletop role-playing games, they work a little bit differently than video games. There are not hard and fast rules on how things operate. There's a more narrative approach and much more open-ended decisions. So, I will be presenting the story, and the group of adventurers here will make their decisions on how to react to the challenges they face. The dice will decide whether or not they succeed, and if not, the penalties. So hopefully no one dies tonight. So please welcome our guest tonight, GameCube. Say hello, GameCube.
Hello.
The Lurking Turtle.
No one outlurks the turtle.
And Daysnick.
Hello.
Those will be our three adventurers for the night. For those that are used to the tabletop role-playing scene, the system we're going to be using is loosely going to be the Ironsworn system, a very narrative-driven, less rule-heavy type of game that allows for a little bit more free-form play and a little bit more improv scenes. So we're going to switch over now. This will be the main game window for the night. Across the top, you'll see the stats for each of our three characters. Daysnick will be playing the part of Serene, the Elven Bard. Glaine will be played by GameCube, and he will be the sneaky, stealthful individual. And Turtle will be playing Torgen, a mighty shield-bearing warrior. Where everything's made up and the points don't matter. That's right.
I also want to point out a second. After watching the VOD from yesterday, Glaine, do you have a problem with my name? Do you have something wrong with the right name, Torgen?
No.
Because I do believe that when you were told what your name was, you said something like, better than Torgen. I'd like Torgen, I'll have you know.
These are the loons I'm stuck with.
Already off to a great start.
I just want to point out that my name, if you take the G out and put an S in there, has all the letters that make up snail.
That's miserable.
He was right there in front of us the entire time.
You're the sneaky snail.
The sneakiest snail. Alright, so the main driving mechanic in Ironsworn is the iron vows that you make. These are akin to quests, adventures that you swear to see to completion. These can range from very easy, troublesome vows to epic at the highest level. The more dangerous and difficult a vow is to fulfill, the more rewarding it will be. So let's get rolling with a brief introduction of the world. The Ironlands are a unforgiving and harsh area. There are scattered cities, but the vast majority of the land is difficult to traverse, extremely dangerous, swimming with vicious beasts, animals, and roving bandits. So, most of society will be gathered around these large cities, but all the area in between is very deadly. A few settlements scatter the areas where maybe a few dozen families may be shored up, trying to defend a small plot of land. And while cartographers will have drawn the lines of which area belongs to which city, ultimately all the land outside of maybe a few miles next to each city is going to be effectively untamed wilderness. So, I rolled up a random sort of starting quest for you guys. You've got your background vows that sort of serve to push you in the right direction towards moving towards something, but there needs to be a sort of inciting event, something to grease the wheels and get an adventure going. So, I've rolled up that you will be escorting a caravan to a distant settlement, Woodbreak. I've marked this as dangerous. That's the second easiest level of difficulty. But it should provide at least a little bit something to move things along. As you guys approach different waypoints along the way, we will mark progress on that vow of escorting the caravan safely to Woodbreak. And once we arrive, we will make a dice roll, compare it with how much progress you've made to determine if the vow is fulfilled or if there is yet work to do. From there, the story will progress, and we will see what happens. So, do you wish to give a brief introduction to your characters? Maybe we'll start with Day, with the Serene.
Hello, my name is Serene, and I come from an elven city, not anywhere near here. I had to take a boat to get here. I'm something of a scholar of sorts. I enjoy collecting sort of obscure knowledge. I also have a little bit of flair for the dramatic and adventure. My loot pays my way as I go adventuring about. Somehow, I got paired with these two fellows for this adventure. They must have really been scraping the bottom of the barrel in their escort budget.
All right. Well, let's hear about GameCube's character Glane.
All right. I'm very sneaky and greedy, but I'm also terrible with money. So whenever I, take advantage of something, I squander it very quickly. And I'm on a quest to save my cat, who was carried away by a bird. I can't be trusted, but I'm on a team, so we'll see how this goes.
All right, and then from Lurking Turtle Gamer, we have Torgen.
Hello, my name is Torgen, and I'm a very basic creature. I have much more heart than brains, but I'm always interested in helping anyone in any way that I can, even at my own detriment. My main motivation is the mayor of my town, who happened to be a talking horse, was killed in the night by a stranger. I have several clues of who did it, but those clues will come out slowly and be seen as we travel along. I'm keeping that close to myself.
All right. Well, let's begin the adventure. Now, for the first move of the game, we are beginning by swearing that iron vow. So we'll have one of you sort of roll the initial check to see how well we start the adventure. So let's see here. Who are we gonna have do that? Let's for the advantage of the team, let's have Torgen make this move. Well, the reason
that luck
being,
ready.
Yeah, the reason being is that swearing an iron vow is based on your heart skill, which Torgen has the advantage there. So we're gonna have him roll for this. So go ahead, Turtle, and do an iron roll with a, let's see, 3 is the number to throw in there. Iron roll 3. And we're going to see how this goes. A strong hit. So,
Yes.
Torgan, accompanied with his newfound team, presumably, or perhaps you guys have gone on some adventures before, but gathered together alongside this caravan traveling to Woodbreak before leaving the big city. You swear to see them safely there against your iron and your honor. So you have rolled a 5 on the die plus 3, and those 2 red dice there are what you're trying to beat. So your 8 beats both of those. That is a strong hit, which means that in addition to succeeding on swearing the vow, you'll get a little bit of an extra bonus. So on a strong hit, you are emboldened, and it is clear what you must do next. Take +2 momentum. So the momentum mechanic is basically your way of slowly building up a one-time bonus that you can use to replace a bad roll later on. So if for whatever reason a 4 would help you out in some way, you now have that opportunity. So it is clear what you must do now, which means that you have a strong idea of where you are leading this caravan. Perhaps Torgan already knows the way to Woodbreak. Maybe he has some history there. But either way, you guys are going to set out on your noble adventure off into the Ironlands, where danger and trials await. All right. So, we begin our journey on the road. As you guys leave the city, the initial road conditions are fair. This close to civilization, the world is in order. Roads are built and maintained, and safe to travel. But you know that not far off, things will begin to get more and more dangerous. So, we're going to find out what the first sort of waypoint that you find along the way to your journey is. So we are going to ask the Oracle. So let's see here. Let's ask for a location or a place. So, that is the wrong command. So, you guys find a remote glade. So, the first step on your journey to Woodbreak, you encounter a distant glade set aside from the farmland that you've been traveling through thus far. The area is peaceful, secluded, swimming with life. Birds fly overhead, and the flowers bloom beneath your feet here in the early summer. This area, so close to the city, is still in warm climate, but as you are going to be going towards the Ironlands, the area there is harsh, the weather much colder and less forgiving. But you find that here the area is warm and pleasant, and you can sit a while and enjoy your time before continuing your adventure. Now let's see here. We are going to mark progress there. That this is your first step along the journey. This is a sort of a waypoint along the way. So we will mark that is a small amount of progress along the way before you carry on. Now from here, we're going to need to try and find the next point of your journey. So let's see here. From here, where do you need to go? I think at this point we need to have someone sort of act as a pathfinder. We will need someone to make a roll for a segment of a journey. So that will be a wits roll.
That would probably be me.
All right. So roll plus wits. So that for you, that will be a +3. And we will see if you make it to the next waypoint on the way to Woodbreak. All right. Another strong hit. Excellent. On a strong hit, you reach a waypoint. And then you may also choose one. You may either make good use of your progress, or make good use of your resources, which is, just the standard you made progress, or you can move at speed. You will take an additional 1 on your momentum at the expense of 1 supply. Currently, your supply is at its maximum. Your momentum is at its minimum. So if you wish to move a point over, you are more than welcome to do so.
Yes, let's go fast and get this. Let's get this caravan moving.
All right. The momentum buildup will help you later on in case of rolls taking a turn for the worst. Your supply is a shared value, but can be built back up as needed. All right, so you guys have made your way to the next waypoint on your journey successfully, which is a lush lair.
A lair of what?
An excellent question. So, your journey continues, but the roads begin to get less and less clearly marked. With your bard acting as guide and pathfinder, you are sure that you are heading steadily towards your goal. However, the area around here seems a little less inviting. You start to see the signs of the distance you have traveled from civilization. No longer do you see the small animals darting away in the woods. It seems now, this far, they're all heavily hiding from predators. You stop as you see, it looks like you've stumbled upon something a little bit more dangerous. Something lives in this area. A small, it looks like some sort of creature has been nesting here around this densely vegetated forest that you're traveling through. So, what do you do?
Are there any noticeable tracks or pathways in along the path?
You'll need to look around for that. Let's have another roll for wits to investigate the area. Trying to find your way around. Something about this area seems dangerous, and you're trying to find the safest way through to get back on the main trail.
I'll ready my bow just in case.
All right.
I don't want to be caught unprepared.
Of course not. All right. A weak hit. The information that you find complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover and take +1 momentum. So good news, bad news in that sense. Your momentum does continue to increase, allowing you to deal with the effects of bad rolls later, but it seems as though you found some information that is going to make things a little bit harder going forward. All right, so as you're looking around trying to discover which way it is, you hear a faint growl from the trees. Whipping your head around, you see the snarling teeth of a large wolf bearing down on you. It seems that you have invaded upon this creature's land, and now it prepares to make a snack of you.
Should I ready my shield?
So
I'm going to alert my companions to the fact that there is a wolf. Just kind of shout, "Wolf on guard!" so that they are aware and can ready their weapons appropriately.
Excellent,
What
excellent.
am I armed with again?
I don't think you've mentioned much aside from a dagger. Presumably you have some sort of ranged weapon as well, if need be.
Okay.
As a thief, I would assume you have a crossbow.
Gotcha.
Perhaps, perhaps. Let's see here. So, what we're going to need next is the next move you're going to have to make, Day, immediately, is to enter the fray. So this is the move that you make to sort of become part of this combat scene here. You are going to roll to determine who is in control. You are facing off against your foe head on here, so you are going to roll plus heart.
Oops. +1.
Yeah, not great, but you're going to have to make do. All right, still not bad, and this will be a dangerous foe. This wolf that we are coming across here.
I
All right.
propose.
Dangerous. So, on a weak hit, you can choose one of the following options. You can bolster your position to take +2 momentum, or you can prepare to act to take the initiative in combat. And that means you will sort of be in control of the situation. Otherwise, you will be on the defense, sort of reacting to the wolf's attacks.
Well, as you described it, I'm being charged. Is that correct?
That is correct. This wolf is ready to come after you.
Well, I'm probably not going to stop it with one arrow. So, my action would be to dodge, take a roll, and probably make a towards the closest large tree with kind of low-hanging branches and try and swing myself up.
Okay, so it sounds like the wolf is going to be taking the initiative in combat, so you'll be grabbing the +2 momentum. So you will not have initiative in this case. And
That's fine.
that is
I'm the scout. That's the fighter's job, to smack the wolf.
Exactly. So you're going to be basically just trying to get away from this creature here. So I think you're going to need to face danger here. So you're trying to scramble away to get to a safe area. So you're going to be acting with speed, agility, or precision. So I need you to roll with your edge stat. So you'll have your +2.
My goal is a low branch for the high ground. It's best for the archer to be up high.
Oh, unfortunately, a miss. On a miss, you fail, or your progress is undermined by a dramatic and costly turn of events. Pay the price. All right, so Day, you try to scurry away from the wolf as it bears down on you, but you are just barely caught by one of its ferocious bites. You are harmed by the creature, but just in time for Glane or Torgan. Who is the next on the scene?
So this thing that we're part of, this caravan, is there a wagon involved?
Yes. They're a little bit separated from where Serene is now. She was kind of sort of off trying to find clues as to which way to travel.
Okay.
But you've heard her shouts and hopefully have come running to her aid.
Okay, so if we're by those, then we're not by her.
Right, you're going to be coming towards her. So who's going to be the first to arrive, Glane or Torgan?
I'm going to hang back and see what he does for a second.
All right.
I suppose since I have more heart than brain, I will rush in.
Perfect. All right.
You're the fighter. You generally go fight things.
Yes. Torgan, roll plus heart. So you're going to be getting a +3 on entering the fray. And we have a weak hit. But still, that 10. You cannot beat a 10. All right, so on a weak hit, you can either take +2 momentum, or you can take initiative in combat, which means you are sort of going to be, immediately going in for an attack rather than being attacked.
Attack.
All right, you're going to go in. So describe to me, what exactly does Torgan do here upon seeing this wolf bearing down on Serene?
I immediately pull out my shield and smack it in the face to make it let go of Serene, and then I pull out my sword and get ready to attack it.
All right, so you have the initiative, and you're going to be attacking in close quarters. So roll with your iron skill, a +2. Let's see how this goes. All right, we have, a miss. Let's see, and you don't have enough momentum to offset that. On a miss, your attack fails. You must pay the price, and your foe now has the initiative. So, Torgan loses the initiative in combat here, and his attack fails. So he's trying for a shield bash, but the wolf sort of gets around it. Torgan pulls out his spear to go in for a more direct attack. Now, what would happen here for this to fail so badly? I think what happens here is that the wolf sort of pounces at you, and your spear, you drop it from your hands, and it goes flying back, landing in the ground a few feet behind you, tumbling uselessly. You're now sort of left with just your shield, and the creature has the initiative. But Glaine has arrived on the scene, stealthily from the shadows. He is spying out exactly what's going on here, what he's up against. Glaine, you see your two companions here facing down a wolf, and things are not going well.
Yeah, so I'm going to dart out of the shrubbery that I have been watching this from. And the spear that has tumbled backwards that he drops, I'm going to kind of tumble to pick it up, and when I get back on my feet, throw it, aiming right at the wolf's mouth.
All right. Let's see you roll. You're moving into position against an unaware foe, striking without warning. So you get to roll with shadow. So let's get a +3. This is your strong suit.
So this is iron. What am I typing for this?
Iron roll space 3. All right. A weak hit on an enter the fray, which means you get to choose either taking the initiative, getting to effectively attack immediately, or taking +2 momentum. Which of those would you like?
If I take the momentum, where does that put me in face for the next turn?
That means that the wolf will be able to sort of take a strike. You will be on the defensive.
Oh, I don't think so. No, I'm
right.
gonna launch that thing right in its mouth.
All right. Well, then roll. Let's see here. You're launching it, so roll plus edge. This will be a +2. Iron roll 2. All right. So.
Come on.
All right.
Oh yes.
Glaine leaps from the underbrush, rolls across the forest floor, grabbing the spear, springing to his feet, and slings it at the beast, and it strikes the creature. A grazing blow, but still dealing some damage. And more importantly, Glaine, you still have the initiative. The beast is not prepared to handle this attack. So what do you do here?
I did aim for its mouth. So does that disable its ability to bite? Or did I
It
miss
wasn't.
them
It
out?
wasn't a direct hit, but the creature is injured.
Alrighty, so I get basically another chance to do something, right?
Yeah. Describe what do you do in this position? You've thrown Torgen's spear, but now you're out in the open.
Okay. So am I pretty close to it now at this point since I dove forward?
Yes.
Alright. So I'm going to pull up my crossbow and try to aim at its eye vicinity.
All
Somewhere
right.
near its eyes.
Okay. Trying to really aim right in the center there. Roll another plus edge. So iron roll 2.
No.
But your attack fails, and now your foe has the initiative. So, all three of you are
And I
lacking the
hit
initiative.
day. Oh god.
Don't you never do this? Never feed the DM.
No. No friendly fire has occurred. It's all right. However, you find that you are now exposed out in the open with a crossbow that no longer has a bolt lined up. You are effectively unable to use your crossbow for a bit here. But what is the creature going to do? Now, the ball is always in you guys' court, even when you're on the defensive. So, describe to me, who is it that the creature is going to attack?
Well, generally, I would think it would be attacking the person who actually managed to hit it. So at this point, it should have left me and be behind me engaging with Glane, which would allow me a chance to roll to my knees to get a shot with my bow.
An excellent choice.
The last we saw it, though, it was on Torgen, right? Because it had messed with him with a
It
shield. They were right
was,
next to each
but
other.
something just threw a spear at it, wounding it, and then tried to fire a crossbow bolt at it. So the wolf begins lunging towards Glane, who's now out in the open, trying to fiddle with a crossbow, trying to load another bolt, and now has to clash with the creature. So your
Can I just
foe
go
has
into a
initiative.
pose where I'm holding the knife at him?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want
Okay.
to fiddle with the crossbow. I just want to hold out my spear or my knife, so if he comes at me, I'll have a poking chance.
All right. With your crossbow unloaded, you grab for your dagger, and the creature rushes forward. I need you to roll with iron, which is your worst skill. So that is a +1. Oh, a miss. You are outmatched and must pay the price. Your foe retains the initiative. Unfortunately, Glane is bit. He raises his dagger to defend, but the creature grabs him on the arm, sinking teeth into the muscle. Glane shouts as Serene manages to scramble to her feet.
Okay, can I, even though I'm not high in, like, stealthiness, can I attempt an attack since it's not focused on me?
Yes. Now, the creature still has the initiative over you, so it will be a clash move, which basically means less advantageous results, but you are still able to attack. And I believe Serene, you'll be grabbing your bow, while Torgen, you'll be grabbing your spear.
Yes.
All right, Torgen, let's start with you. You'll be moving in with the spear now. Roll with your iron skill, a +2.
Come on.
A strong hit. Inflict your harm and choose 1. You now have the initiative.
Yes.
You may either take +1 momentum, or you may inflict 1 additional harm, which I will tell you that would put the creature at maximum on its progress track.
I
That
will
1
inflict
extra
the harm.
All right. now we have the opportunity to end the fight. This is a special move that is only available when you score a strong hit, which you just did for one of the first times. So, if you want, you can try to resolve the outcome of this fight right now.
Yes, let's end it.
Okay. So what we do is we roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. So I'm going to roll with a +0. You can ignore the blue die in this case. All that we are assuming that the effectively the blue is going to be the 10 filled progress bars that you've got. Against an 8 and a 4, that is a strong hit. So, on a strong hit, this foe is no longer in the fight. They are killed, out of action, flee, or surrender as appropriate to the situation and your intent. So, Turtle, what has happened here? Have you slain the creature? Have you driven it off? Describe to me what's going on here.
The creature... I got my spear and I stabbed it right in the heart, and it is now laying motionless.
With that, the wolf is slain, and you guys have managed to survive your encounter here in the lush lair. And as such, you've earned another tick of progress on your journey to Woodbreak.
For sure.
May I loot the corpse?
Yes, take the time to skin the wolf.
What an opportunist.
We can sell it later.
Well, out in the Ironlands, fresh food is going to be scarce, and this is a large sum of fresh meat that will do nicely over a warm campfire during the evening. You load it up with the caravan to save for a warm meal later in the journey.
And
perhaps the pelt will
teeth.
fetch a nice price.
I'm taking its teeth. I'm making a necklace.
Classic.
Okay.
It bit me. I'm taking this.
All
We
right.
should definitely get moving. Wolves seldom are solitary creatures.
And I assume that battle took some time, and it must be getting close to dark.
Although it seemed to stretch on, the wolf came and went in just a matter of moments. The scuffle was quick, but costly. Glaine's arm is injured, and Serene took a nasty wound as well. You'll need to heal at some point, but the caravan also needs to continue moving. So for now, perhaps it's best to continue at least until nightfall.
I pick up the bolt that I missed with.
You reclaim your bolt, always knowing that it, as long as it's in good enough condition, waste not, want not.
It's my lucky bolt.
Always good to have your lucky bolt. All right, so with that, you were a bit waylaid by this perilous event, but the caravan moves along, and you make your way to the next waypoint along your journey. The exposed cliff. The edge of safety, of civilization. Here you stand at the cusp of the Ironlands. Harsh, unforgiving terrain stretches out ahead at the bottom of this large cliff. The forest fading away, and ahead of you stretches miles and miles of untamed wilderness. Legends say that cities once dotted the landscape, but the land now houses few settlements and far between. The Ironlands are no place to make a home, though some still try. But the Ironlands make one thing. They make for tough travelers, tough as the very iron the lands get their name from. Among them, you three, the Iron Sworn to see these people to safety. And so now, you're going to need to make another perilous trek. There is a dangerous pass down the side of this cliff. The road is not maintained. It has not been for perhaps centuries. But still, it stands. Wide enough for the caravan to pass by, but not wide enough for a second alongside of it. The caravan makes its way down the stretching road, slowly and cautiously as you journey along.
I would suggest that Torgan and I be leading the way in the front. His shield and spear might be useful for clearing obstacles in the path along the road. Maybe let Glaine cover the rear guard.
I will actually sit in the back of the final wagon so I can rest with my arm, but be looking out behind us.
An excellent idea.
I'm always afraid of the night.
SHOYRETORGAN.
I'm always afraid of the night, so I think we should be looking for shelter while we're traveling.
Once you arrive at the base of the cliff, thank goodness. Once you arrive at the base of the cliff, you find a, thank you, Jervdove, a safe place to hole up for the night. The caravan circles up. Perhaps so. I don't have an easy way to flip it off or on, but I think you're right.
I'm looking for a safe space.
Yes, a safe space for the night. Let's see here. Now,
With our backs against the cliffs would give us at least some protection if we can make it to the bottom.
this is true.
Well, I was thinking because people have tried to inhabit this land, we may find something uninhabited, like an old farm or something. Was my hope.
Right. It would be tricky to find something like that out here. Not impossible.
Perhaps a cave along the cliff face?
That's a good one.
Okay. So we're gonna be searching around for a good place to hole up for the night. So let's see here. We'll need to gather some information. When you search an area, roll wits. So who will be leading this search for a good place for the night?
I will.
Probably Serene.
All right. Let's get a +3 with your wits roll. Oh. Now let's see here. Not even enough momentum to make that work. Your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Pay the price.
Sounds like I didn't find anything. And it's probably not safe to camp here.
It does sound like not only did you not find the perfect spot you were searching for, but yes, it sounds like there may not be a good spot anywhere around here for some complicating reason. Let's see. It sounds as though this area here at the base of the cliffs is also another ground for some wild animals. The caravan decides it's much safer to continue traveling through the night.
Oh.
But unfortunately, this is a hit to the morale, and the team loses a little bit of spirit as a result. So, a much later travel, with sort of swapping out between guard shifts for the night.
If I take a turn riding in the wagon on the rear guard, can I make a roll to play some music to help keep everyone awake and feeling a bit better? And perhaps a little noise would discourage any curious wildlife from coming too close?
Let's see here.
I'm a bard, after all.
That is true. Let's
That
see.
doesn't work. If that doesn't work, a rousing speech.
Let's see here. Let's, what are your assets? Did we have, something specific for that? Story Weaver would probably be the closest, for this.
I think that's what we settled on.
All right, let's see here. When you secure an advantage, compel, or forge a bond with an enlightening song, so you may add +1, take +1 momentum. So let's see here. In a sense, you are trying to secure an advantage here. You are trying to make preparations, in a sense, for the coming challenges. So let's call that a secure an advantage roll. So, because you are a story weaver, you may take an additional +1 on this roll as you tell about the song that you sing to lift the spirits of the caravan. And then you may roll. Let's see. That would either be. Let's
It would be
see.
wits, would it not?
Perhaps with expertise. To a certain degree, I would call it somewhat charm, but we'll give you the expertise of playing to allow the plus wits roll for a +4. As you tell us about the song that you sing to the caravan. No actual singing required, don't worry.
Apparently I was very successful and struck a nerve with this group.
A strong hit. So, on a strong hit, you gain advantage. Now, first off, because of your Storyweaver ability, you get an additional +1 due to the hit. So, already, that bumps your momentum up to 7. Now, you may choose one, either take an additional +2 momentum, or go ahead and make another move with a +1. Story-wise, it feels like this is purely a momentum maneuver.
Yeah, this would be a momentum gain.
All right, that almost maxes out your momentum, which is excellent to have, especially in case of another terrible miss like earlier. So, the night passes, with taking shifts for rough sleep during the night on the wagon. But the caravan makes good progress over the night. And you make your way to the next waypoint on your journey. Let's find out where it is you have arrived at. The Ancient Wastes.
This just keeps getting better and better.
In stark contrast to the lush forest that was teeming with life that you passed by previously, you awake to find your caravan passing through a very rough wasteland, devoid of vegetation. From up on the cliff top, it was difficult to make out much details about the terrain. But here, down on the ground level and miles away from the cliff, you find that the area is barren at this part of the path. Around you, the hills roll across the landscape. The sky, still the same bright blue that you left beneath. But the familiar green of the grass and trees has long since left at the top of the mountainside. And now, looking around you, you see that truly the Ironlands are a bleak place. It is no wonder that it is difficult to tame this land. Agriculture next to impossible in this sort of region, at least. But perhaps as your travels continue, you may find more palatable areas to travel through. Glane, still on the back wagon, tending his wounded arm, perhaps is now ready to rejoin the team. Not fully healed, but at least patched up.
And I've got my new necklace on.
Of course. Making fast work of the wolf.
At this point, I would imagine I would have taken some time to bandage my ankle as well.
Let's see about that. Let's make a roll to see. The heal maneuver here. When you treat an injury or ailment, roll wits. If you're mending your own wounds, roll wits or iron, whichever is lower.
Oh.
So,
Lower.
in that case, that is going to be iron. But you have that momentum built up if you need to deal with that. So it would just be a +1. Well,
Since I've been tending to myself, would I do the same?
yeah, we'll have you make the same roll. So on a weak hit, your care is helpful. You can take a +2 on your health, but you must suffer either -1 supply or -1 momentum. So what's it going to be for Serene?
I'll lose 1 momentum.
All right, you have plenty to spare. Glane, let's also get your iron roll with +2.
My iron is 1. Is that
Oh, yep, you're absolutely correct. I was looking at Torgen's. Yes, a +1.
all right?
Again,
Yeah.
the same, a weak hit. Mended, but at the cost of either supply or momentum.
Momentum can't drop below 2, right?
Oh, that is your
think it
reset value.
defaults back to
Actually,
2,
it
so-
can drop below 2.
But it'll recharge to 2 eventually or something?
Only through moves that add momentum.
And
So
they
the
have other
the-
choices to lose supply, which takes from everyone.
Correct.
Momentum.
All right. Yeah, mostly it's okay to have a lower momentum, but you don't want it to be negative. I'll explain how that works if we ever reach that point, but just be advised, negative momentum is costly.
I wish to take a personal move.
Okay.
As we are caravanning several other people, I wish to ask one of them if they know anything about my motivation, if they have any information about who killed my horse.
Okay. Let's see here.
Casual conversation.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, let's have you gather information. So, let's see here. You're going to need to roll your wits. So, a +2.
I messed it up. Hold on.
Second try is the charm.
I did not put a space.
Ooh, a strong hit. You discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow, or the action you must take to make progress, is made clear. Envision what you learn and take +2 momentum. All right, so you chat up one of the travelers here within the caravan, Leela, the clever performer. She's one of many that have been traveling with you, though you haven't learned many names.
Exactly one, in fact.
Now, does Torgan have in mind the specific details he is trying to uncover here, or is this more open-ended?
This is more, do you have any information about ever hearing about a talking horse being slain in a village? General question.
That's quite general.
Perhaps
Now,
we have different definitions of the word general.
yes. Now the nature of this horse's speech is it sort of magical in nature?
I believe it to be magical.
Okay,
yes.
so it's uncertain, but
Yes. It did, in fact, give very good advice, but I believe it was my horse, and it was also the mayor of the town.
all right. So let's see. Leela here is a performer of sorts. Perhaps Leela has traveled many places, heard many tales, sort of a collector of stories in a sense. So, Torgan sort of brushing the wasted dust from his shield, begins to walk up and down the caravan as it travels, and begins to chat up some of the travelers. And there he finds this woman in sort of a bright garb. Catching his eye, he goes up to speak with her. And Torgan sort of introduces himself. Kind of mentions who he is, why he's traveling with the caravan, as sort of a protector of sorts. And at this, Leela's eyes light up. Of course, you're the one who was protecting us from that awful wolf the other day. I remember. Yes. Thank you so much for your efforts there. And Torgan gets a bit more specific, asking about the case of this mysterious horse that was found to be perhaps slain in the night. It's like a talking horse. Oh yes, something rings a bell. I collect stories, you see, and one of those I have heard is a case of a horrible event that happened at a village fairly far from here. But yes, there was something about an awful fire in the village, and a sort of prized horse. I'd never learned the details of exactly what made it so special, but if you say it can speak, well, that in itself would be quite special indeed. Yes, they said that the fire burnt down the building where the horse would sleep through the night, and by the time they had extinguished the flames, the horse was nowhere to be found. Perhaps caught in the rubble, or perhaps taken away in the night. It's uncertain, but I did hear one piece of information. There were whispers. There were whispers that someone in the village was responsible for the fire that night. Yes, I believe that was it. Is it something that you wish to see justice done for?
Yes.
Is our fighter distracted by the brightly colored lady?
Yes. My heart is a bit taken with this woman, as I have a lot of heart.
A lot of heart to take.
And yes. That is all the information she probably has.
Well, let's see. You know, there may be someone at Woodbreak that might have a bit more information I could introduce you to. Sort of companion of mine. They too sort of dabble in tales. Perhaps they may have heard the same story and a bit more of it than I.
I would like to meet them when we're there.
I'll be sure to introduce you. Just don't forget, find me when we get there.
I'm writing it down. Thank you.
I would say that's at least a little bit of progress towards fulfilling this vow. So I'm going to mark one progress step on that. That gives you half a tick towards completing that vow.
Okay.
All right, with that, the wounds of the injured have been tended to. The caravan continuing to travel along. Let's get another roll of wits to see if we can make our way to the next point on the journey. Uh-oh.
Oh.
You are waylaid by a perilous event. Pay the price. Let's see
Question.
here. Yes.
Is it the 8 plus my 3, or is it 8 total, if I were to take the momentum?
It is total. Yeah,
So
so
what
unfortunately that's
actually-
not going to be enough to deal with that.
Okay, never mind then.
Let's see
That's
here.
just bad luck, because that's a high roll.
Yes, unfortunate there.
D6 against a D10's kind of eh.
It is tricky. That's the point. I think at this point we've reached an issue with our supply. While sort of scouting the area, Serene discovers that the area is very barren. Not much fresh water around to be found in the immediate area. Near one of the wagons, one of the travelers chuckles and says, "Not to worry, we have barrels enough of water to last us a long time." And slapping one, a very uncomfortably hollow sound emits from the barrel he slaps. Upon investigation, they find that many of the barrels were damaged at some point, and perhaps were leaking water from the moment that you left town initially. But that's pretty grave, unfortunately. It's a major setback. Supply drops dramatically.
I can't sing the water barrels full.
That is unfortunate. That's not really doable.
I mean, I could try Song of Storms. We could maybe catch some rainwater, but I don't know if that works here.
The barrels are also damaged, so we need something to keep them in.
That's true. Now you have a little bit of spare room in some of the barrels as you've been traveling already. A few known good barrels are empty. So if you do find fresh water, resupplying to some degree is not out of the question. Now there is a specific move for resupplying if it seems appropriate. You can hunt, forage, or scavenge with a wits roll.
I'll scout a little bit and see if I can maybe find if not a creek or stream, perhaps an abandoned well of
All
some
right.
kind.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and roll that that +3.
If not, it's looking like we're drinking wolf blood.
I mean, that sounds tasty.
Idea for an energy drink.
All right.
Apparently, I found a puddle.
Well, you can take up to +2 supply, but each supply you take will cost you 1 momentum. So what's your choice there?
Does it have to be my momentum, or can I?
It will be yours. You're sort of leading this scene.
Hey, who's the thief here?
I'd loan her some of mine, but
He's already at 1. All right. Well, 2 momentum's worth the cost in this case.
All right. You do find a bit of a small lowland where it looks like rainwater has collected into a sort of wide but shallow pond. You collect as much as you can after making sure that it's safe enough, though perhaps a little bit of boiling over the campfire next time that's available. But your caravan is restocked as you make your way to the next waypoint.
At least the animals got to take a drink.
Exactly, yeah.
I presume these are horse-drawn carts.
Yes. Naturally.
Oh, shoot.
non-talking.
I should have talked to the horses then.
If only. All right, so where do we go from here? Every time with the S. So, yes, you find a place to sort of refill your water.
Look at all that water.
After much searching, you finally find a spring out here in the wastes where you resupply the water. The area is a small oasis amongst this wasteland, and you have the time to sort of sit and rest with the caravan.
I'd like to
I'm gonna
perform
make camp.
a personal action.
Okay.
Does this spring have any sea life in it?
What kind of sea life are you looking for? Fish?
Like fish?
Yes.
I would like to try to catch a fish.
All right. Glane spends a little bit of the morning trying to catch a little bit of a bite to eat. Spending some time trying to lure in one of the many sort of well-sized fish that you see swimming along in the waters here. After some difficulty, he does eventually manage to snag one. A little bit on the small side, but with a little bit of good eating on it.
He will not get this reference, but does he sing the sweet fish to eat song while he does it?
I sing fishy fishy.
Probably.
Oh yeah, you did mention that he would not get that reference. That's all right.
But
It is a Lord of the Rings reference.
I figured I would have had to roll to try to catch that fish, but okay.
No reason.
So I would like to take a brief time to cook the fish.
All right. Perhaps this
If
is a
we
good
can
area
camp for the morning.
to make camp for the morning.
The whole purpose of this, why I'm doing this, is I'm trying to create a fish cooked smell in hopes that it might attract my cat.
Ah, I see.
Oh,
This is something that I do.
Understandable. Seeing if somehow this brings the cat that was taken from somewhere miles away in some direction, but perhaps could be within nose shot of this fish smell.
this is good. This is good character development. He always smells of fish.
I like it. All right, so make camp. when you rest and recover for several hours in the wild, roll plus supply. On a strong hit, you and your allies may each choose 2, and on a weak hit, choose 1. So, let's see. I will go ahead and make that roll for the group, I think. So, with your supply back up to 4, this will be pretty nice. A weak hit. So each of you may, let's see, no one needs to take health. You can take spirit. You can take momentum. Or you can choose to add a +1 to the next leg of the journey when we break camp.
Is this an individual choice, or do we have
All
to come to
3 of
agreement?
you get to make this choice. So this one's
Momentum.
a special keyword of allies. Yeah, allies. When that word is in the results, that means that literally every party member gets this bonus.
Ooh.
So, what do you want to take for this? Spirit,
I will rebuild
momentum?
my momentum.
All right, good call, actually. Yours is very low. All right, for Torgan and Serene?
I will
We're-
take the +1 for the end of when we break camp.
Okay, excellent. So you'll be preparing for the next leg of the journey.
We're 4 dashes away from completing.
Well, technically, you can reach your destination whenever we get there. The progress bar is more accurately a measure of how likely things are to be in good shape and as you expect when you get there.
I'm going to relax and take 1 spirit.
All right, bumping your spirit back up to a full maximum of 5.
And while we're, resting and giving the animals a break and whatnot, and I presume we're preparing our wolfen meal, it's my turn to kind of snoop about and suss out who the gossips in the group are.
Of course, of
Are there
course.
perhaps any other elves?
Elves are rare outside of their forest home. Difficult to find anyone that would stray that far from the sort of elven ancestral lands. But perhaps you find someone who may know a little bit more about the elves in this area.
We're travelers. Who knows? Let me roll and find out.
Okay. So go ahead and roll with wits.
Apparently I didn't find anything.
Your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. I think that's already sort of getting the point across. There are absolutely no elves traveling with you, and upon asking about, it seems as though no elves have been seen this far south for years now. You're the first we've seen for as long as I can remember, at least.
Well, that is useful information, even if it's not what I necessarily would have liked to have heard.
Yes, yes.
Just think, if you're the only choice, you're the best.
All right. I think with that, it's time for the next leg of the journey, which, Day, you seem to have been our main pathfinder and navigator for the journey, and you'll get to take an additional +1. Torgan spent some time sort of preparing everything for the next trip, just to give you a slight edge. So you'll be rolling with a +4 here. Excellent. A strong hit. Mark progress. So you guys are one step closer, and I think we probably will line it up with the progress of the vow. So another waypoint found along the way. This is a peaceful pass.
Ah.
You begin to sort of arrive at the far end of this large wasteland you've been traveling through. Small but scrubby bits of grass patches. You see sort of digging into the earth here in clumps. Small shrubs dotting the landscape. A sort of dry green about them. The area here is not particularly well suited to vegetation, but nature finds a way to thrive in even the harshest environments. But the caravan leader announces this is good news. This area is known to be only a small distance from the settlement of Woodbreak. It seems that you are nearing the end of your journey. And assuming no harm comes to the caravan on this last leg, you will have successfully fulfilled the vow you made to them to see them safely there.
I think that since we're getting close, we should speed up.
An excellent idea. So,
we're moving from. Or go ahead. Sorry.
You make your final, the final leg of the journey with Woodbreak in sight. There's now a special maneuver for that. Reach your destination. When your journey comes to an end, roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. Momentum is ignored. No momentum shenanigans on this roll. So, again, ignore the D6. That value will be a 10. That is how much progress you made on this vow. So we're only interested in the right 2 dice for this one. So here we go. How well did things pan out? Oh, a weak hit. You arrive, but face an unforeseen hazard or complication. Envision what you find. Interesting. So you have made it, but things are not quite as we had hoped. So I'm also going to sort of count this as a fulfillment of the vow, which is an alternate move, which is sort of in the same vein here, which is on a weak hit, there is more to be done, or you realize the truth of your quest. Envision what you discover, and then mark experience. So, there is more to be done. What does this mean exactly? I think we are going to roll on the Oracle for a little bit more information. Reject barrier. Reject barrier. You approach the town, the settlement out in the Ironlands of Woodbreak, the first sign of any civilization you've seen since leaving the city the previous day. You've traveled for many miles at speed and overnight, and only just now see any other signs of actual people. You find, however, that the city, which you expected to see a sort of small collection of buildings out here in the wilderness, is surrounded by a large wall. A guard stands atop the wall, spying you out in the distance.
I wish to display some sort of friendliness to them.
All right.
We're not an enemy.
Of course. All right, so Torgan approaches with the sort of universal sign of, we're cool, right? We're cool.
I make sure that I am not seen in this exchange.
All right. You walk up to towards the wall, and perhaps you wish to greet the guard up there, ask for information. This will be mostly a Torgan spotlight scene, it seems.
Oh.
See, you are the one approaching.
Oh, okay. So I'd walk up and I'd shout that we're friendly travelers that are trying to get a caravan into the city. We've been brought there.
I'll accompany Torgan. Just
yeah, moral support.
Moral support and to clarify if necessary.
Woodbreak is closed to outsiders. No one gets in.
I presume that our caravan of travelers included at least a few merchants. That's typically what would fund a journey like this.
True.
Perhaps they're expected.
Yes, and
This is probably a trade route of some sort.
yeah, out in the Ironlands, money is less of a valuable tool. Barter is really the main driver of commerce out on these fringes of civilization. So yes, merchants would be coming along, but with trade goods to exchange for some of the goods available here that can't be found as close to civilization as others might be able to.
So, kind of backstory then. I presume we would have, at some point when we were signing up for this mission, been told the name of who was funding this particular adventure and what they were, given some clue as to why we were being sent.
Well, the caravan is a sort of autonomous collection of different merchants and travelers, sort of all agreeing to travel as a pack, but not one single leader. As such, they've all sort of chipped in to pay for a little bit of extra muscle to accompany them for the travels.
So I would speak up to the guard, something along the lines of, this is the merchant caravan from name of city we left. We were I was led to believe we were expected.
And that is another thing is information does not travel fast through the Ironlands. Because of how dangerous it is, very few risk the journey. You're probably the first to come for several days out this way. So as far as being sort of known to be on the way, not as much.
Well, I presume there's some sort of general trade schedule or route that sort of cyclical.
Yeah, we'll say Grey River is the name of where you were coming from. Oh, that sounds delightful.
Can we try to bribe our way in with what's left of with the wolf's pelt?
Let's see.
Let's not resort to bribing right away.
But some sort of persuading to allow in. Yeah.
It's like, we brought you the people with the stuff that you want. You should probably let us in.
Yeah, don't turn us away. All right, well let's make a compel move here. So who's gonna be leading this persuasion? It sounds like either Serene or Torgan.
Torgan's the one with heart.
All right.
That's fine.
All right. Well, then, yeah, let's go for a charm or barter or otherwise convince. So, Torgan, let's get a +3 roll. All right. We have a strong hit. They'll do what you want or share what they know. Take +1 momentum. So, let's give you that +1 momentum that you've been eyeballing. Bringing you up to a nice 7. All right, so you shout out at the man like, we've traveled all this way. We've got all these people that at great expense have come to do business with the town of Woodbreak. Surely you wouldn't turn us away after all that. So the man is sort of he seems a bit uncomfortable about the situation, as though he doesn't really want to turn you away, but is being sort of has his hands tied in some sense, is the sense you get from him, from the uneasy looks and somewhat darting eyes.
Perhaps there's someone he needs to go ask? Or maybe a mayor or some such?
Let's see here. Look, I've got my orders, and you need to turn right round and get out of here. Go on.
Now I can try to bribe them.
I don't see. What if we were to camp outside the city? Are you still open for commerce? Is there someone we could perhaps speak with regarding trade?
No, you've got you. It's very important that you need to go.
I sense danger. My heart tells me there's something wrong.
There's definitely something wrong. So I'm going to kind of take a glance at Torgan. I'm going to presume our eyes would meet. And we're going to kind of both understand that something is wrong. I'm going to take a moment and kind of walk back a few feet to the rest of the caravan and kind of huddle with some of the merchants and maybe wave Glane over a bit into the huddle. Perhaps it's time for a different type of scouting.
But you found that Glane has left the wagon and has already started to go around the side of the town to find a way in.
Oh, good. He's already done what I was thinking.
Oh, well, that's good. That's super good. Okay.
Time for a different kind of scouting. So I'm going to chat with the merchants and see what they want to do, how they want to handle the situation.
Okay, so just kind of gathering a few of the merchant leaders around and sort of figuring out what the plan is going forward. Well, we can't turn around now. We've spent days getting out here.
Don't have the water, really. You could travel all the way back across the Badlands again.
Yeah, we've come a long way to do business. How else am I going to offload this kind of supply?
I get the impression something's wrong. I notice Glane is missing. Perhaps we'll have more information soon.
All right, shift camera to Glane. Who is Glane? What are you up to? You're trying to find some way to sneak in to the settlement?
I'm going around the exterior. I'm seeing if there's either a way to climb up or preferably sneak under maybe a broken part of the wall where the base is.
Let's see here. Let's see. Would this be gather information in this sense? You're sort of searching the area. Let's get a wits roll from you. A +2.
Is this not some sort of stealth? Wouldn't that be shadow?
In this case, we're just gonna go with the wits roll since it doesn't matter anyway.
Oh.
On a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. Pay the
Well,
price.
perhaps this is the information we wanted anyway.
In a sense, perhaps.
I feel we've heard that phrase like 15 times tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Your quest has been undermined.
Yeah, I mean, this is an undermining sort of game for quests.
You return to the mine. Go to page 7.
Give away your map.
Get your map. That stupid map. All right. Glane begins to sort of sneak around the exterior wall, looking here and there to see if there's some way that he could maybe manage to get over or under the wall. The area around here has a little bit of dense shrubs in places, so enough area that he can sort of take cover if need be. But unfortunately, someone else was already taking cover. What looks to be someone dressed as a guard is sort of out on the exterior of the wall, and he spots you as you round the corner, almost bumping right into him. Halt! He brandishes a long spear in your direction, and by his body language, he seems like he would not have any hesitation to use it.
Do I gather from looking at him that he's a real guard of this town? Or someone who's not supposed to be here? Can I look at him and try to sum him up?
It appears you spotted a few banners from a distance, waving over the town of Woodbreak. He appears to be wearing the colors of Woodbreak. However, this section of the wall has no posted guard towers, or, for that matter, any obvious entrances. So he seems to be fairly distant from where he would be posted, were he acting as a guard.
I throw my hands up in the air,
Mm-hmm.
and I explain to him that I won't go back, that I broke out of the dungeon in the town, and I'm getting away.
What?
Let's see here.
Ooh, some counter psychology here. I like it.
What?
Basically trying to get him to stand down, but through a bit of a bluff. That's going to be a compel with a shadow. So give that a +3. A weak hit. So basically you're just asking him, don't attack. I don't plan on attacking you. So they'll do what you want or share what they know. You can take +1 momentum. But they are going to want something in return. So, So something
fancy necklace you got going on there.
It did not quite go as planned. So you're basically telling him that I escaped from the dungeon. Just don't. I'm leaving.
By the way, you just told a cop you're a prisoner.
Well, my hope was that he would take me back in the town.
Yes, it's a reverse psychology play. He's trying to get in by literally telling them to take him in.
Yeah, so
No
he's
one's
got
allowed
you.
here, but I'm from here, so
He's got you at spear point, but you kind of the words that you tell him. Who are you? Where'd you come from? He puts his spear aside. So
I
you've
say
succeeded
that
at least in not getting killed.
I'm just a beggar who's always lived in this town. Then I was arrested for trying to steal to eat. No one knows me, but I'm from this town. I'm a homeless person.
As a reminder, the settlements out in the Ironlands will have well under 100 people, maybe a few dozen. Just to give some context to how outlandish the bluff is.
If you were from here, he'd probably know you.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Okay. I'm trying to pull this lore in here.
Oh no, that's. You know what? We'll roll with it. All right, you're definitely not from around here. I know that much. What are you doing here? How'd you come to be here?
I tell him that I'm trying to find the person who killed my talking horse.
What? What? You're the worst.
He's a good rogue. That's what he is.
All right. So, meanwhile, Serene and Torgan, what have you guys been up to?
I've been talking with the merchants and kind of standing back and kind of playing the role of the observer. There's definitely something amiss here. We don't really roll spot checks in this game, but that's what I would be doing.
Right.
I'm trying to gather more information from the guard by saying if there's some sort of danger, wink twice. And he has winked. So now I'm going to go back and tell Serene that there is an issue, and maybe she should go look and see if she can see anything.
Is that a wink or a stroke? I'm not sure.
Oh.
How do the merchants react to this? Businessmen can be a little sketchy about walking in, a little terse about walking into a sketchy situation.
Yeah, I mean, so for the most part, they're a little bit uncertain, but they're willing to kind of wait things out a bit. After traveling this far, passing up any sort of trade would be pretty costly. So they're willing to sort of follow your lead on this, if as sort of the caravan muscle. If you guys want them to basically stand back for a while you sort of investigate the situation, they will be happy to sort of do so. Even go so far as to feint turning around, if that helps your case.
I've been leading this expedition, more or less, as our head scout. Was there any clearings we passed recently on our way here? Perhaps maybe shortly off the trail?
There is space enough to sort of have the caravans positioned well out of sight.
Maybe a half mile or so up the road.
Far enough to not be seen or heard.
Let's have them fall back a bit. I think Torgan and I should probably try to fake, kind of do the wink, wink, nudge, nudge with the guard and feign strong arming.
All right, guess you got us. We'll turn around. Bye.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do we want to pull a "let me speak to your manager" ploy, Torgan?
Let's say we 100% need to get more information. There's definitely something going on. We don't know what it is. We definitely need to find some way to get more info.
So I think we should demand to speak to the mayor of the town,
Yes.
because they're refusing trade, and this is a large investment from Grey River, and this could cause some political tension. You know, this could be a
I shop here
problem.
all the time. I'm here all the time. They know me. I want to speak to your manager.
I would
Now-
like to speak to your manager, please.
So are you going to be telling the guard this sort of in earnest, or trying to convey some other message under the covers?
Kind of a. We'll do the wink, wink, but play it up. I'm a bard. I'm a bit of a performer. I'm going to give the Karen speech.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Yeah,
seven
really.
merchants from Grey River have spent 3 days traveling this inhospitable land to bring supplies to your piddling town. I demand to speak to your mayor at once about this matter. There is not some valid reason made for this horrendous shun. Surely political action will be taken. This is unacceptable.
You are so fired.
I have a coupon for your rides. It expires today. I must use it now.
Perfect.
Several of the inhabitants of the wagon are recording this with their phones.
Yes.
Well, would you like them to be going ahead and sort of leaving?
Well,
Or at
maybe
least-
not leaving, but like milling about a bit.
Okay, all right. Yeah, they'll go with that. They'll run with that.
So basically, I'm asking, like, send your mayor out to speak to the leadership of the caravan.
Right.
What if expired last month?
All right, so the guard up there on the wall, he's sort of fairly jittery at this point. It's like, oh, I can't. I'll do what I can. And sort of pops down out of view, giving you at least a moment without being watched closely.
I'm going to make sure I'm standing a little bit behind Torgan. I'm going to remind him to have his shield kind of nearby, on hand, just in case this doesn't go well. I'm not going to ready my bow, because that would be hostile, and I don't necessarily. That's not. I'm already throwing a bit of a fit.
Right.
A bit of a production, so I don't want to appear violent. I just want to appear, angry and a little bit economically driven. So,
Right.
but I definitely want to be standing behind the guy with the shield a little bit, just in case.
No, of course. So let's see here. Let's spin back around to Blaine, over on the opposite side of the wall, sort of secluded area, with the one lone guard that he's been chatting with, in a sense. I don't remember exactly where that conversation left off, but the guard there with his spear, but not holding it in a threatening way, but still keeping it close, just to kind of keep an eye on this stranger that's spinning tales about horses and cats. Eventually, he sort of tells you it's not safe to talk this close to the walls.
I very slowly approach him and place a hand on his shoulder where he's not holding the spear, and try to guide him away from town, and just say, "Let's talk."
Kind of signal him like, "Let's this way."
Yeah.
All right. So a bit back away from the town, sort of keeping to the areas that are a little bit more covered, a little bit less visible from the vantage point of the walls. Once you guys are sort of a decent distance away, can talk more freely. He speaks more about the situation. You're a long way out from any settlements I know of, but maybe it's fortunate you're out here. It was just a couple of days ago, perhaps, maybe 2, 3, that things have all gone south here at Woodbreak, I'm afraid. So if you were hoping to rest yourself after traveling the Ironlands, I'm afraid it's not the best news for you.
Question, did they hear Serene shouting at the guard about talking to the mayor?
Yes.
It's plausible that they did.
Yeah, the bardic voice carries.
So maybe that was the clue he needed to be like, oh, help, possibly. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Good plan there. So I take it you're with that caravan, eh?
yes.
Caravan? You mean Karen van?
Hey.
I ask him what exactly we're dealing with in the walls.
Well, it was maybe a few days ago. As we've been having issues lately, see, with a lot of packs of bandits roving these areas. But been able to fend them off for the most part. Till they got some kind of something. They got their new leader set up, who's led the charge and managed to get into the city walls and take a host of the village hostage. And with that leverage, it didn't take long before she was able to get more of her men in. And well, with that, she's sort of set up her operation here now. We basically got a very delicate and very big hostage situation. Within a sense, the whole village is being held hostage, more or less. If anybody doesn't do exactly as they're told, well, there's a good chance that somebody's loved one is gonna be no more.
So the guards are working for them now.
Well, more or less. The ones that were at least someone they could control, the rest of the guard team have been booted out. We've got a small camp, me and a few others. I came up alone to see if I could find some way we could get past the walls. I know there was a spot not too much further into the bush there that it's been needing repairs for a bit. So I might have an inn. But it sounds like you guys have got a large set of people. Maybe a small army, a militia, maybe. You know, I figure just a few dozen people might be enough to take the town.
I prefer to get in first. I'm going to propose that he and I switch our armor, that he joins my group with my robe and hood on, and I enter the walls as a guard.
Okay.
Ooh.
He seems pretty
He accepts
controlled,
this
so-
idea. Yeah. So, all right. I like where your head's at. So your mates are back there in front of town. I'll rendezvous with them, and well, I don't know what you plan to get up to in there, but hopefully I see you again alive.
Yes, please don't get killed.
All right. So with that, you don the colors of the Woodbreak Guards. And this fellow that's been helping you out is Sira. And he says, look, just so you know, there's a large building in the center of town. That's where they got everybody locked up.
Michael Sarah.
Oh no. And that's where the leaders hold up as well. First sign of trouble, I don't doubt that she would start taking heads.
Well, then she's got to go first.
Probably not my best idea, but I do trust you. But don't do anything stupid. I got a brother in there, and well, I swear if anything happens to him, I'll do twice as much to you.
Noted.
With that, he
I give him my crossbow, but I keep my dagger concealed in the armor.
All right, so you're going in with just a dagger and
Well, I'm also going in with a spear.
his
if he's-
spear, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. With that, he points the way towards the weak spot of the wall, where he knows that there's some old wood that could probably be pulled off fairly easily by hand.
And I tell him the names of my party so that he can identify himself and show that he knows them.
Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, back to the caravan. Serene and Torgan have been waiting for a manager.
I mean, what else were we supposed to do?
I mean, I don't know.
Fine this time.
I mean, I definitely didn't know what to expect, but we'll take it. All right. So, a different guardsman. This one not wearing the Woodbreak colors, but still heavily armed. Walks up to the wall where the other guardsman was standing. He looks down at the crowd of merchants. And starts shouting down. All right, listen up. Turn your carts around and get out of here. He pulls out a sort of heavy-looking crossbow. I'm gonna start taking shots if I don't see some movement, right?
I come up with the other guard. I'm actually escorting my new friend.
Oh, I thought you
And
were
I-
going in.
No, we have to come back to the group.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well, that's
so I kind of come
Good.
up to the main group.
I
And
was-
I throw fake Glane / Sarah at my party and say that I found this one sneaking around so that he can rejoin the group.
Okay.
And I can get myself some points to get into the town unchecked.
All right.
Well, this is great news that he came back. This is fantastic news.
So I'm going to turn and kind of take a few steps over to the merchants, and I'm going to, just kind of start pushing at the horses and just like, okay, here's the plan. Go back to the clearing. we'll figure this out. You know,
Of
we're
course
gonna
they're- Yeah.
like Torgan and I are gonna, you know, I figure I got an idea what the range on that crossbow is, so we're gonna see if we can have a conversation at a safe distance. But you know, y'all go ahead and fall back a little bit.
I'm going to share with Glaine that Leela told me earlier that she knows someone in this village who may be able to help him out inside. And when I tell Leela, or when I tell him what the person's name is, it just so happens that the guard's husband is married to Leela's friend.
Brother?
Yeah, his brother's married to...
Okay. You said his husband.
Oh, his brother's married to his...
I get. I think I get what you mean.
Sorry.
There's a connection.
There's
All
a
right.
connection. There's several people in the city that he can have as contacts when he's inside.
Okay, so you did some name dropping to Glaine, who, as it turns out, is not Glaine.
And I presume Torgan and I will clue into this very quickly.
Yeah.
And,
so
I presume
you
we'll
start
also notice
mentioning
that-
this as you're helping Glaine to his feet, telling him
So, who
about
are you,
all
buddy?
these people. And he's like, well, you know, it's all very interesting, but not really a friend. Sorry. And
So
two
you
and two
wanna-
get put together very quickly as you guys turn to see the guardsman walking towards the city gate, maybe? I don't know what the plan is here for Glaine.
I was trying to tell real Glaine before he went into that he had a contact inside the city.
Oh, I just
That
figured
was
you
my
guys would
intention.
not catch immediately that the switch had
Oh,
happened.
okay. Yeah, that's true. Silly idea.
So I'm
sorry.
helping up Sarah,
Mhm.
and I'm going to be. So, who are you then?
Just met your friend a little bit ago. Seems like we've both got a little bit of a common goal right now, getting into Woodbreak. Cut a long story short, some bad people in there, holding some townsfolk hostage. We're gonna try and do something about that. I was expecting maybe some more armed soldiers or something, instead of two other people with weapons, but
The few other the caravan members might have some light arms. They're going to fall back for a moment to a clearing we saw about half a mile back. So, the town is under hostage. Is this a bandit situation?
Right, you got the right of it. We got a bandit problem in the area, and sort of maybe some new alliances forging over the months. And well, long story short, there's a lot of them now under one main one, and she's kind of calling the shots. And that's about where we stand now.
Do you know her name?
Do I know her name? Yeah, Katja. She's a real piece of work.
So, bardic knowledge check.
Katja.
Do I know who that is?
Let's see here. The name itself is not known, but little bit of etymology knowledge from your bardic lore clues you in that this person has taken a name associated with sort of mystic arts. So in this fantasy world, magic is not a super common thing, and those that have any sort of magic about them would have a fairly small, limited bit, but it would be respected. And this name is that of that would commonly be used in these communities of mystics. Those that have some connection to a certain other.
Okay, so he name drops. I will respond. Is she a sorceress then?
A witch. A nasty one, too.
I see. So, our group's going to fall back a bit. I presume our new friend up on the wall is one of hers?
Yeah. Bit of a brute. Most
know,
of the old guard is already cleared out of Woodbreak. But
Do you have
she kept a few
companions?
around. A ways out in the woods. Yeah, there's a few of us that have been sort of camping out, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. It's not much, but a few extra hands would make a load of difference among so few.
Understood. I'm kind of being an elf. I assume I stand out a bit, so I'm contemplating some things, scheming in my little elven brain here. So I'm going to kind of stroll alongside one of the horses and keep him close and kind of keep asking questions. What's the layout of the town like? How many people does she have? I'm gathering intel along the lines of, if we're going to do something, what's at stake here?
Right.
Making a plan.
Yeah. So you're able to get a lot of information from Sierra, learning about kind of the layout of the city, the weak point that he's mentioned before that could get through the walls with minimal disturbance to the guards, as well as a little bit more about everyone's general whereabouts within the settlement.
Once we're safely out of sight, I'm going to send him to fetch the rest of his people. The caravan will be a ripe target. I assume we're bait, and that they'll send a party to come raid us. Why barter when you can steal? That's what bandits do. So a few extra hands to help secure the caravan. I'm going to have them circle up the wagons as best they can to make it it's as defensible point as possible.
Just be prepared, but be off the beaten path if possible.
Let's slip out of sight and circle up. Be prepared.
Wise. All right. So what was Glane doing right now? So he's dressed as a guard.
I was heading inside.
Heading inside?
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. Yeah, they'll open the gates for you. The guardsman spotting down. The bandit guards would not know everyone well enough to identify by face, and the friendly guards would probably let anyone in that would be allowed. Sort of, an intentional, not close look, if nothing else. So Glane manages to get into the city. Not a lot of people out and about, if you can imagine. The old wooden walls sort of fence in a small settlement. A fairly countable number of houses and other buildings. It looks like very few people live here after all, and those that do would probably live in pretty close quarters. So there's not a ton of buildings, but a large sort of central hall sort of stands at the forefront of your sight upon entering.
All right. So, do I still see the large crossbow guard leaving where he was?
Yeah, once you're inside, you see him sort of heading towards a small rickety ladder that leads up to the top of the wall.
All right, I stop him and ask him to let me join him up there, because I found that that guy that I was finding, Fake Glane, he was finding a place in the wall that he could try to get in.
So this
And I
was
wanted him to
the
come.
this was the bandit guard is coming down from the wall.
I'm talking about the crossbow one that was on the ground. Like the one with the really big crossbow.
The one that just was saying that he was going to fire down at the.
Yeah, the manager.
Yeah, that was a bandit guard.
Okay, well,
So he's coming off the wall. So I mean, if you want to get on the wall, you're probably able to do so after he gets down.
Yeah, I tell him, good work with that situation.
Cheeky.
And if he can escort me to the place where I believe that they're trying to get in from a compromised part of the wall, I want to investigate that with him, and he can cover me with the crossbow.
This is the same thing you did with the secret escape from the mine. Always the right hand of the devil. Always.
But
right.
I take him.
Uh-huh.
I take him to a portion of the wall that is not where I believe it is compromised.
Okay, so you're taking him to a healthy part of the wall.
A healthy part of the wall away from the view of other guards.
Okay. Is your intention to take this guy out now?
Yes.
All right. So let's see. You want him to come with you.
So your bluff is there's.
I'm trying to get him to provide me cover while I, look at the area where they're trying to get in.
Where you saw the guy poking around.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. He'll come with you.
Okay.
And allow you to sort of make your move here. Ooh, you know what? I think you've got a special asset that might come in handy here. Let's see here. Cutthroat. When you're in position to strike at an unsuspecting foe, you've got some possible bonuses that you can choose between before actually making the roll. Ooh, that could work out pretty nicely if it works out.
So can I set up what I'm trying to get him to do?
Yes, that will be an enter the fray move. You are going to be entering into combat effectively with this one guy. So you're going to need to roll shadow.
Well, when we get to where we're supposed to be,
yes,
at the wall,
yes,
I ask him to take aim over the wall at a certain section of bushes to get his attention.
Right, you're just
away.
trying to distract him.
So yeah.
Hey,
so
look
now
over there.
Yeah, so now I'm free to be around him without him focusing on me.
Right. So now you're going to try and move in for the kill.
Right.
All right. So you're going to have to enter the fray here to see if this works. So that'll be a roll plus shadow.
So, okay, that's 3. So,
which is good. So we'll see if it works out.
Oh, apparently this was a particularly dense one.
That's good. That's good. That's what we like to see.
Can I direct how I would like this to go, and you can tell me how the rules work with that?
More or less, you just describe how you want things to play out, and I will tell you the appropriate rolls to make. So first off, +2 momentum right off the bat, and you have initiative, which pairs with your cutthroat ability, because it allows you to strike at an unsuspecting foe and take an extra bonus. Let me tell you what the bonuses are available for you. So when you make your attack roll here, this strike roll with Shadow, you can choose before you roll to either grab 1 extra momentum and take a +2 on your roll. That's in addition to the +3 you already have. Or you will basically deal double damage on a hit. And he will, if you do not take the double damage, he will be at 4 progress out of 10 on a hit. On double damage, he'll be at 8. So that's your toss-up there. Either it's a risk-reward scenario.
I want to explain the maneuver I'm going to try to do, so we can see if some of this damage matters.
Yeah, narrate.
So he is aiming his crossbow over the wall. I'm behind him. Now that I don't have his attention, what I want to do is in one motion kind of slam his crossbow down against the castle wall while forcefully pushing my knife into his body in an attempt to pin down his crossbow and push him over the wall, keeping his crossbow.
Right.
So if the fall would kill him, I don't know if double damage matters.
Well, we'll see. So that will be a strike, effectively. That'll just be a strike.
Okay.
There's not, in a sense, don't think in terms of like video game health points kind of thing of ticking down. It's more of narratively, is the battle over or not?
Yeah.
Like, you can attempt to end the fight after making just one hit, but the success of that depends on the end the fight roll.
Yeah.
This is some Assassin's Creed, stealth kill maneuver stuff here.
So the
I like
strike is still going to deal just damage, regardless of how it's described, but maybe the effectiveness of that is dependent on what happens here.
Yeah.
So what would you rather, have a more likely hit or a more effective hit?
More likely hit.
All right, so we'll take the +2 on the bonus and a 1 on a hit. So you're going to roll a +5 for strike.
That's good chances.
Let's see what happens here. That's the best chance we've seen ever.
Let's see how I mess it up.
Let's find out. The suspense.
Am I rolling? Who's rolling? What's going on?
No,
Yeah,
you're
you
rolling.
iron roll 5.
Okay, I thought, okay.
Yeah. There it is. Oh.
Yeah, that's
All right, so you get +1 momentum. A strong hit, you retain initiative. So, this is sort of the fight here. So let's see here. So we have a guard. You know what? I think he's a tough guy. He's dangerous. Well, one guard. He's a bit of a brute, but we're gonna mark him as troublesome. That'll put him at 6 out of 10 progress. So you have the initiative. Do you want to attempt to finish the fight here?
I'm guessing that pushing over the wall thing didn't take, because he would be away from me.
Well, that depends on what you want to do here. Like, if you describe this as finishing the fight, then yeah, we'll say that that's what you did. If you want to say, I want to take a few more swings, then maybe that was just the initial hit, and then we go from there.
I've got to finish him now. If we start fighting, that's going to cause a commotion.
Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky then. So that means that we're going to roll against a 6 here with both of these d10s. So let's see what happens. Remember, ignore the left die for this one. We're looking for 6. That means 50-50 on both of these, but you
So
really only need 1.
I'm rolling a 6.
No, I've got it.
Like-
I'm rolling it.
Okay.
All right, so you just need 1 to succeed here. A 2. We pulled it off. All right, so
Woo!
it's a weak hit, but it counts. The guard is out of the picture. So Glane grabs the guy's crossbow while he's staring out in the bush. Oh, yeah, just right over there. Yeah, look right over there, just past that one. Oh, I don't see a thing. Slams his crossbow down. Knife goes into the guard, piercing the flesh. The guard, as Glane quickly but quietly tips him over the wall, where he lands with a dull thud and is silent. He's out of the fight. But let's see here. We have to. There's a cost associated with this. Let's see. Suffer collateral damage. Your victory is short-lived. It's worse than you thought. All right. You get the knife in him, and he's sort of immediately caught off guard, but he's still there. He kind of grabs your knife hand and tries to hold you back. His arms are powerful. You may have the edge on stealth, but he's got pure muscle. So he reaches back and grabs his own knife from his belt and starts trying to take swings at you wildly, but he's losing blood. He manages to get a few lucky hits in on you. You kind of recoil back, but then manage to just tackle him over the edge where he falls dead. So you did take a little bit of damage in the fight, but the important thing is you were able to finish him off quickly and quietly.
Maybe he re-injured that wolf bite spot or something.
Yeah, something like that. So that's what I meant earlier about, like, it kind of depends on what you describe, and then we'll just kind of rewind the narrative as needed to fit the roles. But yeah, you were able to finish him off there. So where we stand now, Glaine is inside of the city. He's got the walls. Serene and Torgan are with the caravan, while Sierra is going back to get the other disposed of guards to see if we can build up a small strike force to take the city back from Katja. Now, will the team be able to successfully free the city from Katja's grip? Are the villagers okay here in the in their sort of their prison within their home? We're gonna find out next time.
Oh dear.
Next time on DobbsQuest.
Next time on DobbsQuest. So far, the first vow is technically unfulfilled. We have not escorted the caravan safely to Woodbreak just yet. We reached a complication right as we thought the quest was done.
As Windows would say, something unexpected happened.
Something unexpected happened. That is the name of the game, more or less. So hopefully we'll get some resolution to this issue in Woodbreak next time, and maybe after that, perhaps we'll start to learn a little bit more about the other vows that the team has taken, and see if they can make some progress on that.
So I have a question. Does Glaine know that the head lady in charge is of magic? Because I don't remember that being specifically mentioned.
He may
that conversation
not,
happened
because
after I handed him over, I think.
Yeah. That information happened after Serene made the connection with the name. That is a mystic name. So
That is a problem.
Hopefully he mentioned that. This witch is in charge now.
I'm sure it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I wouldn't worry about it.
I never trust anything that's said is fine.
Oh boy, it's all right. He's doing okay.
Just if we have to have him roll a new character, so be it.
That's just the way it goes sometimes. There's a move for dying.
I also have a giant crossbow now.
That's a good point. Yeah, you grabbed that, so that
I made
could
sure
be
to
handy.
keep that in play. I didn't want him to take it with him when he fell.
Oh yeah, that would be good to clarify.
That's why I pinned it to the wall so it wouldn't go.
Nice. Well, it worked out. You're alive and he's not, so I think you're the winner of that encounter. So that's Ironsworn, guys. That's how do you feel after the first foray into tabletop role playing games here? Maybe not ever,
Fun.
but at least for this.
I was gonna say I was sad I don't get to loot the body, but I mean, if I have his crossbow, technically I did.
Oh my god!
This is how this works.
A man has died, GameCube.
Yeah, we killed him because he's out here murdering citizens. We did a good thing.
Yeah, that's good.
And good things are rewarded with things.
I get the impression that Glane and I are probably chaotic neutral, and Torgan's probably over here being this lovable neutral good guy.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say I'm not accustomed to not having good reflex saves.
Yeah,
And that not being a thing.
The system of Ironsworn is quite a bit more brutal overall. Like, there's a very common theme of having to sacrifice in some way a lot.
Yeah,
And trying to
it's
balance
simplified it's simplified to the point of brutality. That's a good way to put it, I suppose.
Yeah. And a lot of it is that in traditional Dungeons and Dragons, you are these like larger than life heroes, with all these amazing powers and can take on 6 people at once, no problem. Pew, pew, pew. In Ironsworn, you're just these dudes running around, they're very mortal. Maybe, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster than the average person, but on the whole, you are on pretty equal footing with the common folk.
This is the first episode in a party of 3. We've already managed to break the group up into 2 parties.
I wasn't gonna call you on it, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like the wild card aspect there. It's like, you know what? Let's see where this goes.
That is the rogue's job, in theory.
In theory.
Generally, you would want there to be 2 rogues if they were going to be gallivanting off on their own, so they could at least, cover each other. But...
Right.
I can find this guy's brother, and he can be my friend.
Yeah, I'm actually really proud of Glane because I expected more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Dickishness.
Sabotage.
Douchebaggery.
That's
yes. As I've seen what he does in other adventures.
There was a moment, I will say, behind the scenes, there was a moment when I put my hand on his shoulder and we started walking away. I was going to stab him in the back for a second.
See, that's what I expected.
That was like, wait.
That's what I was looking for.
Oops. All right, well, let's start tallying the number of innocents killed.
That's what I was waiting for.
Well,
Kinda like
and there would
watching
be
you play
some
Ghost of
pretty
Tsushima.
bad consequences there because you'd lose out on a lot of people helping you.
So here's the question, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So back way back up. Let's say we got to Woodbreak, and instead of rolling the barrier, the troublesome barrier, would we have just gone in?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Quest complete.
So basically, like, there are huge consequences.
We got Ironsworn.
And it's more of a narrative thing than like a mechanical thing, really. It's like, is this the hooray we did it moment, or is this the oh no we thought we did it but we didn't moment? And it's like none of it is particularly planned out in advance. We're just gonna find out together. We're all gonna find out together.
Like he could have said that the town's been burned down. It's not there anymore.
That's a valid option.
Or, he could have been a benevolent game master and just said the gate was stuck. And we had to use we had to hitch up the horses and help them unstick the gate.
That's not particularly interesting. That's a chore. That's not a twist.
By the way, Dobbs, did you get that message I sent you?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Oh my goodness. Whew. So
Oh my
next
gosh.
Monday.
Next Monday, we will continue this adventure.
On the next episode of Dobbs Quest.
That's right. Oh man, normally
may-
after doing a role-playing game, I have to really quickly write down notes about, okay, what in the world happened, what's about to happen, before I forget. But now I can just go back and watch the video, so that's pretty handy.
Well, there may be if I have the time, a possible synopsis
Oh,
last time on.
Ooh,
There may be
wouldn't that be
another
something?
trailer.
Oh man.
Now, keep in mind, this is the first one. So look out for lovable returning characters so that in season 5,
Oh, all
when
the
we're
time.
in a totally
that's-
different round of games, some traveler from another realm appears.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No.
And
Okay,
Sarah's
I
back,
see.
you know.
Yeah, but now he's wearing glasses, reading glasses, to show that time
Yeah.
had passed.
Right. It's been 800 years.
All right. Well, thank you, viewers, for joining us tonight. Thank you, players, GameCube, Day, Turtle. We'll be back next Monday, hopefully, with another exciting episode of Dobbs Quest. This was a lot of fun. I'm really glad with how well this went.
He's making us wait for the snails.
There better not be any snails.
Surely not.
All right, everyone have a good night.
Yeah.
Good night, friends.
Take care, everyone.
Fun.
Goodbye.